If you are feeding all your chickens the same feed, you are losing money every single day because different stages require different nutrition. Welcome to Farm and Feed Academy, where we make animal production simple and practical. In this video, you will learn how to properly formulate feed for different stages of broilers and layers. Why stage feeding matters. Chickens do not need the same nutrients throughout their life. A chick needs more protein for growth. A finisher needs more energy for weight gain. A laying hen needs calcium for strong eggshells. If you don't adjust the feed, you will waste money, reduce performance, and slow down production. Now let's go into broiler starter feed formula. This is the most critical stage of the chicken's life. At this point, they are between age 0 to 4 weeks. Their crude protein requirement is 22 to 24%, and their energy requirement is high. At this stage, chicks are developing muscles and organs. Now let's go into the actual formulation. You will need to add maize, 50%, soybean meal, 30%, fish meal, 10%, wheat bran, 5%, premix plus additives, 5%. This mixture gives high protein for rapid and early growth. Section 3. Broiler grower feed formula. Now their age is between 4 to 6 weeks, and crude protein requirement is 20 to 22%, and their energy requirement is moderate to high. At this stage, growth continues but at a slower rate compared to the starter. Now this is the example of the feed formula. You will mix 55% of maize, 25% of soybean meal, 7% fish meal, 8% of wheat bran, and 5% premix. This reduces the cost of feed while also maintaining growth. Section 4. Broiler finisher feed formula. At this stage, they are between 6 to 8 weeks of age, and their crude protein requirement is 18 to 20%, and energy requirement is very high. At this stage, the focus is weight gain and fat deposition because excessive fat is bad for broiler health and also not good for final product. Example of feed formula. We have maize, 60%, soybean meal, 20%, fish meal, 5%, wheat bran, 10%, and premix, 5%. This increases energy and reduces expensive protein. Section 5. Layer chick starter feed. At this point, they are between 0 to 6 weeks, and their crude protein requirement is 20 to 22%. Meanwhile, their energy requirement is moderate. This is the stage where strong foundation is built. Now let me give you an example of a feed formula. Maize, 50%, soybean meal, 28%, fish meal, 10%, wheat bran, 7%, and premix, 5%. Section 6. Layer grower feed formula. Now they are between 6 to 18 weeks of age, and their crude protein requirement is 16 to 18%, and energy requirement is moderate. At this stage, this feed is good because the birds are growing, but they are not laying yet. Example of a feed formula is maize, 55%, soybean meal, 20%, wheat bran, 15%, fish meal, 5%, and premix, 5%. Section 7. Early laying stage. At this point, they are between 18 to 30 weeks of age. Their crude protein requirement for this stage is 17 to 18%, and calcium is highly required. In formulating this feed, egg production is to be considered, so calcium source like limestone or bone meal will be added. An example of the feed formula is maize, 50%, soybean meal, 20%, wheat bran, 10%, fish meal, 5%, limestone, 10%, and premix, 5%. This supports egg formation and shell strength so your eggs don't break easily. Section 8. Old layers, now they are above 30 weeks of age, and the crude protein requirement is 16 to 17%. And also, calcium requirement is very high. At this stage, egg production may reduce slightly due to age of birds. An example of a feed formula is maize, 55%, soybean meal, 15%, wheat bran, 10%, fish meal, 5%, limestone, 10%, and then finally 5% of premix. More calcium at this stage helps maintain the quality of the show. Section 9. Now this is the cost-saving secret. To reduce cost, you can replace part of maize with cassava and part of soybean with groundnut cake. Due to the difference in their crude protein and price, but always maintain the protein level. Never sacrifice nutrition just to save money. Feed formulation is powerful, but wrong formulation can destroy your farm. Always measure properly, mix well, and observe your birds. In my next video, I will show you how to actually solve this by yourself using person square method. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it when I drop it. Now you understand how to feed your birds at every stage. Apply this knowledge, and your results will change. This is Farm and Feed Academy. Animal production made easy.